How you doing?
Mr. Hooker, how's it going?
Okay.
Long time no see, I guess. When's the last time I ran into you? I ran into you somewhere, probably.
I think the last game, it was Page game.
Football game?
Basketball.
Basketball game. Gotcha. Well, how's the season been going for you guys so far? I know you've had some ups and downs, and there have been some good games, some bad games, and still trying to get everybody together, kind of a new kind of team. How's it been so far this year for you?
Oh, we have some ups and downs. Just trying to gel right now. Just come together as a team.
Coming back out of Monday's game against Trinity Christian, what'd you guys take out of that game? What'd you see about your team, and what does your team need to be doing getting ready for Page tomorrow night?
I think that we really increased our defense this game, and the hustle was there. We just gave 100%. Just couldn't make shots in the end, and we really prepared for Page and the weapons that they have. So I think we'll come out and have a good showing in the fight.
Dudley not a huge team this year height-wise. I mentioned somebody the other day was writing some stuff. I said their tallest player might be that point guard this year. Hendon, you might be the tallest player on the team at 6'5". Mm-hmm. So the height maybe not there, but maybe a different type Dudley team we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm. We're very versatile this year, and a lot more athletic.
And I think you like that outside shuttle out this year too, right?
Yes, sir.
The kid Hopkins, I think the Hopkins kid may have had 3 threes in that game on Monday. He shot the ball very well.
Josh, he's a pure shooter. He always comes through when we need a 3.
You got some new guys. I think there's Demotis Gilmore. Is that another young man on your team this year?
Yes, sir.
He's playing pretty well for you.
Yes, sir. He's real athletic. He gets after it. He gives 100% every time he's on the floor.
And the Frank McCain kid playing well for you too.
Mm-hmm. Matt, yeah, he's coming through.
You got some names other than you and Seagraves both back off last year's team, but some of the other kids that have come our way this year with Dudley are some new names and some names people got to get used to a little bit different type Dudley team.
Yeah, we're like I said earlier, we're a real versatile team. We're just trying to come out and just finish the season strong.
And you, it's not like the season's over because you got that conference game. You guys got 2 conference losses, lost to Grimsley, double overtime, I guess, last Friday, dropped the game over at Smith. That's a game you got in foul trouble over there. You didn't get to play maybe about half the game, but, you guys are still in the thick of things. You beat Page tomorrow night, you're right back in it.
Yes, sir. We're just trying to learn from our mistakes and just come out strong.
You guys learned from a lot in Monday's game because you got off to a slow start Monday against Trinity Christian. You guys battled back and pretty much tied that game up in the second half.
Yeah, we came out a little shaky, a little cold, couldn't really hit shots. But then we got back in the flow of things. Coach Seagraves gave us some encouraging words, and we pulled through.
How about Coach Chavis? You're a point guard to some degree. You guys kind of run point by committee at times. What are you guys learning from Coach Chavis over there, from Josh?
Well, Coach Chavis, he gives us a lot of encouragement. He gives us tips here and there. And at the end of the day, he tells us just to play basketball, have fun, and make smart plays.
Has it been fun this year?
Yes, sir. It's been incredibly fun.
I know you like to do a little bit more, though. You left a little bit. We got to talk about both sports. I'm going to talk about football, too. You left a little bit out there at Tarpley Stadium. I know you left a little bit out there this year.
Yeah, that really hurt us. It really hurt me deep. I felt like we could have won a state championship back-to-back.
And you did not lose a game on the field, and you hadn't lost any games the year before. You guys had a chance to go unbeaten in back-to-back years.
Yes, I think we would have went all the way.
Kind of let the bad taste in your mouth, I'm sure.
Yeah, it really did. I know this year we're going to come out 100% stronger, faster, smarter.
And you think about the football part, since it was a rough year with the forfeits at the end, were you able to take some of that anguish and bring that to the basketball court?
Yeah, it really did. It made me much more hungry for success on the basketball court.
Where do you see this thing going? Is it too soon to tell? You're in 10th grade sophomore,
yes,
right? Is it too soon to tell where this thing might go? It may be going toward your futures in basketball, your futures in football. Is it just too soon to tell?
Yes, sir, it is. It's up in the air right now.
You get a lot of questions about it, I'm sure, though. People come out all the time. You just want to, like you say, have fun, be a kid. How's your dad doing these days?
Oh, he's doing really good, actually. He's out in Texas.
Still in Houston?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. In the education field?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And with the football and the basketball, football-wise, how much air do you need to have in your football to make a good pass? They talk about the deflated gate going on with the Patriots. Does it make any difference? You're a quarterback. You could ask this question easily for us here.
I don't really think it does make a difference, honestly. If you're going to put the ball in the air, then you'll put the ball in the air.
Yeah, you've got pretty big hands. Let's put your hands up here. So look how big those hands are compared to mine. You shouldn't have any problem gripping the ball. You shouldn't need any less air to get. Some guys want a little less air to get a better grip on the ball.
Yeah.
But for your sake, it shouldn't even matter at all.
Well, actually, it's all depending on how you like the ball to feel. I kind of like it a little deflated, actually.
Do you like the thumb around the stripes at the top, or you like the fingers around the threads? How do you grip that?
I usually go thumb across across the top.
Get a little circular thumb around the top.
Yes, sir.
The basketball, does it matter basketball? I mean, how do you judge if there's a proper amount of air in the back? I see these refs prior to the game, they take the ball, and I think this is just all standard. It doesn't even mean anything. They'll take the ball, hold it by the head, and drop it, and it comes up to their waist. It's supposed to be usable. It's supposed to have enough air.
Yeah.
What about the basketball?
I don't think the ball should be too bouncy, because then it has a certain grip to it, and when it's too bouncy, you can't really grab the seams, fill the seams.
I tell you, the seams are important, I guess, in those outside shots, even the free throws. If you can't get those seams right and that ball doesn't rotate correctly off your hand, then your shot's not going to work for you. I would think. It's all about the touch, right?
All about the touch.
And you got the big grip on the ball, you can throw it down, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how long have you been doing that? When did you first begin to put the dunk through the rim, through the basket?
I got my first dunk when I was in 7th grade. And it was AAU Nationals, and we were in Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow, that was on the road. Who was coaching that team back in the day?
Coach Waddell.
I was going to say Waddell. I was just going to guess Waddell. I said, well, maybe I'll just let you tell us. But that was great stuff then.
Yes, sir.
You guys win the Nationals there that year?
No, sir. We came in 5th.
Who else was on that team? Any other names we may know?
J.J. Watson.
Oh, yeah.
That moved to California. Miles White.
Wow, Smith, yeah.
Reggie Davis that plays at Northwest.
And he's a good player, yeah.
Jordan Perkins at Greensboro Day. And Will Dillard that plays at Greensboro Day.
It's just a good young team right there.
Yes, sir.
A lot of good guys. I remember watching you guys, you and Brian, in that middle school all-star game a couple years ago. I mean, you guys were out there. Sometimes that game, not quite as structured as the game you're playing now, but you guys were playing great even back then.
Yeah, me and Breon, we go way back. We have great chemistry together, on and off the court. We hang out, we work out together. We're just good friends.
There's a lot more to it than just playing ball. You guys do other stuff too. You guys go to class. You guys take care of business. You got other activities you do as well.
Yes, sir. We really take things seriously in the classroom, and off the court, we conduct ourselves as young gentlemen.
Yep, and you put it right nicely. That's what you have to do. Do you have a favorite in the Super Bowl coming up?
I really like the Seahawks.
Russell Wilson, man?
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. What about that? You look at the Patriots and Tom Brady. I mean, how close do you think this game might be when they play next Sunday?
It should be a good game. Tom Brady is most likely the best quarterback in the league at this point.
How about yourself? I mean, if you do go into college, which you will go, and where you will go, I mean, any schools you like, are you thinking about already? Are you taking a look at these guys?
I don't really have any favorites.
No list yet. No list made out. Here's the crazy thing. I mean, this is just off the record, I guess. Maybe on the record because we're talking about it here. Do you ever think about going back out and joining your dad out in Texas, maybe playing ball out there? Or are you going to stay with Dudley and just keep things rolling here? Is it ever a lure? Maybe to go, I want to get back with my dad, maybe hang out with him, maybe play for this big state of Texas?
But there is a question a lot. It was questionable last year if I was going to go or stay. But my dad, he comes back frequently. So it's really not a problem with me seeing him.
He still catches you on the weekends quite a bit.
Yes, sir. He should be back tomorrow, actually.
He'll catch the game tomorrow night?
Yes, sir.
That's good. If he could be there in person those games on Friday nights, I mean, that's the name of the game anyway.
Yes, sir.
How important is that Page game to you guys?
It's a big game. We really need this one to start our process on rolling back and getting our season back on track.
And the part of your game, I mean, you've been so busy doing football and basketball. What's the part of your basketball game that's probably improved the most from last year?
Probably my outside shot. And probably just scoring in general. Last year I averaged about 12, 11, but this year I'm really turning it up and really getting some good scoring nights.
What about the biggest influence for you, basketball-wise, other than your coaches? Who's been the biggest basketball influence?
Probably my trainer, Gilbert Abraham. He works out some pro plays, works out Raymond Felton, and some big-name high school players, Lee Felton, and he really just pushes me to be all I can be.
Where's he based out of? He local? Here?
No, I think he's in the Fayetteville area, but he moves around a lot. Virginia.
Gilbert Abraham.
Yes, sir.
I'd never heard that name before. So that's almost like your personal trainer then.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Does he work with you toward football and basketball, or mainly just basketball?
Just basketball.
Gotcha. That's good stuff. Good stuff. What's the thing you've learned the most from? We talked about Coach Chavis, which you learned from Josh. We call him Josh. You call him Coach Chavis. We keep everything straight there. Yes, sir. No, sir. Keep things right. But from the head coach, Coach Seagraves, what's the thing you've learned the most from him about?
Just go 100% and give it your all every game, day in, day out, practice, it's game time, anything, just do everything 100%.
And you'll think about a few other things for our guest here, Hendon Hooker from Dudley, the Panthers, and favorite sport other than basketball and football. I mean, you play both, so about equal. Is there a favorite sport other than those two?
Golf.
Really?
Yes,
Kind of
sir.
golfing deal, huh? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's all right. Do you find time maybe in the spring to play some golf?
Oh, yes, sir. I go out on the course with my grandfather. So
Is your grandfather based down in Ramsey or down that way?
I have one down there, but I also have one in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
So you hook up in both places?
Yes, sir.
And hit the golf course?
Yes, sir.
How does that go for you?
Pretty good, actually.
Does Dudley have a golf team?
I'm not sure.
If not, maybe time to start one, right? Get the golf team going. Hendon Hooker with us, and some other questions for Hendon on this night. How far do you see the team going this year?
I think we're able to go further than last year. We finished second round of the playoffs last year, lost to Page, and I think we can surpass that.
So it probably all depends on coming together now here at the end of the year. Got to get this
Yes,
thing
sir.
together now, gelling.
Yes, sir.
It's still a lot of different. It's just so much a different team. Last year you had B.J. Pittman, you had yourself, you had Seagraves, had a few other guys aren't there this year, so it's still a process. Like you used a good word earlier. I like that word, the process, trying to get this all working right.
Yes, sir.
And the basketball-wise, you look at over, is basketball fun for you? Looking at it, is it fun as far as it goes, or is it satisfying? The wins. Some people say it's fun. Let's go out and have some fun. I'm thinking, it is kind of fun. Sometimes maybe it's not as much fun as it is satisfaction.
Yeah, sometimes I look at it as a job, and if we don't have like good work, then it's just satisfying. But when we're actually like playing good basketball and it becomes fun, and then we're real serious about it. So
It's kind of fun when you get the win on that night, sometimes, or kind of satisfying. But sometimes it's fun when you think about it later on.
Yes,
But like you say, it is a job, and if you don't do it right, the fun part is being successful.
Yes, it is.
I mean, being we talked about Greensboro Day and Wesley. You maybe didn't make that game tonight, but that was a heck of a game. Greensboro Day was able to go in and impose their will on Wesleyan. Wesleyan, all that talent, the Harry Giles, around the Brandon Childress, and Quay Parker, and on they go. But Greensboro Day was able to go in and impose their will, and that was satisfying for them to be able to pull that off.
I think it's their team chemistry. They have great team chemistry.
Would you like to get a game against Greensboro Day?
Yes, I would. They got us last year, but I would like to have a game.
I saw that the Dudley JVs were playing Greensboro Day this year. Saw that matchup. So maybe, who knows, get those two together and roll it again. Favorite class over at Dudley these days?
It'll probably have to be my chemistry class.
Things going well there?
Yes, sir.
Who's the teacher?
Miss Coker.
Coakley?
Yes, sir.
Any relation to Christian Coakley? Maybe not?
No, sir.
You know Christian, right?
Yes, sir.
Because he's not playing basketball.
No, he's not.
Can't play. He plays football. He plays baseball. His uncle, I think it is, Coach Coakley at Grimsley. So Christian Coakley should be playing some hoops. I don't know what's going on there. Least favorite class or the hardest class?
I have to say pre-cal. It's probably the hardest class.
It's kind of in the math section there. You're doing pretty well. Taking some good classes. The one class you could teach over at Dudley, if they called you in to substitute tomorrow, say, Mr. Hooker, here's your chance. You can take over and teach for a day. What class would you be teaching?
That's a good question. That's pretty hard, actually.
Is there one you would feel comfortable teaching, maybe?
I'll be comfortable teaching PE.
Okay.
Or health.
Would you, if you taught PE tomorrow, that's a great thought too, because so many people think PE, let's go in and just throw the balls out, let them play, run them. If you taught PE, would you make it a tough day or make these guys work, or would you just kind of give them a play day?
I'll do half and half. Probably start out with some things work on the body, strengthening your body, and then at the end just let them have fun.
That's it. Good call. What about 20 years down the road? This is a tough question, but boy, if we went back and asked your dad, Alan Hooker, this maybe about 25 or 30 years ago, I wonder what he would say. But how about Hendon Hooker? 20 years down the road, Hendon, where do you see yourself at?
Being an orthodontist.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Man, that's interesting. So you will have your own practice.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
Man. Have you had any dental problems over the course of time yourself? Did that kind of get you in that?
Well, when I was little, I had braces.
Yeah.
So
you saw the work that was done and decided, I want to go this route myself.
It looked really interesting. So now I'm going to be an understudy this summer coming up.
You're going to do it this summer?
Yes, sir. I'm going to.
Wow. Take me to the doctor's office. Who are you going to be working with?
I'm not sure yet. It's up in the air. So
this is a good choice. So here's the deal now. You're dedicated. You're gonna see this thing through then. You'll be an orthodontist one day.
Hopefully.
Wow. Let's get some other. I got some other things I'm gonna ask you about too. But let's get Hornets. Charlotte Hornets. Asked Mr. Brewer about this earlier. If you were called by the Charlotte Hornets, could take anybody's position down there, would you take Michael Jordan's spot as the owner? Would you go for Fred Whitfield, which your dad probably knows Fred? I'm sure you probably met Fred, the team president. Would you look to maybe grab the job of, say, Al Jefferson, kind of big, Kemba Walker? Maybe PJ Harrison's spot, or even Seth Bennett's spot. Seth's in marketing.
Yes,
you probably know Seth too, because your dad's A&T, your dad knew Seth. Whose spot would you take down there of those positions? Which one would you like to take?
I have to go for Jordan's spot.
Take the owner's spot. Might as well go for the top. No doubt about it. That's good. That's kind of good there. I like that approach. If you go back and do a redo or do a retake on your career, it's kind of an early career for you, still fairly young. If you do the retake, do the do-over, anything you do differently?
No, sir. I wouldn't actually.
Would you avoid any of these questions and all these? How about all these interviews, all the attention? Is that good, or how does that work?
Actually, I really enjoy it.
Because we did the first interview, I think, over at Page last year. You like that stuff pretty well?
Yes, I do. I enjoy it.
I tell you, that orthodontist thing has really got me thinking. That's going to be a good thing if you stick with that, no doubt about it. We talked about the Super Bowl upcoming, talked about the MVP. So who are you taking in? You're taking the Seahawks?
Yes, sir.
And Russell Wilson wins MVP or somebody else?
Russell Wilson or Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch is I like this guy. I don't know him, but I've been watching. This Richard Sherman guy's been impressing me. Another guy impressed me too. Who's that other guy on that? The other defensive back is that? The name escapes me now. I'll think of that name in a few minutes. Remember the guy who got the big pick against the Panthers, ran it back all the way?
I know who you're talking about. I think his last name is Ross.
We got to think of that dude's name. It's going to come to us before we leave. It's almost like a Timberlake, Chamberlain, something along that way. Van Chancellor. It's tough. You got to get it, man. You got to get it. Van Chancellor took that. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's real tough.
Yeah. Well, that was a tough. Pulled that out of the memory bank. Always good you do that. Okay. For Hendon Hooker. I didn't ask this of Mr. Brewer. I asked you this one. Got to get all these questions. If I was going to give you a team jersey of Duke, North Carolina, NC State, Wake Forest, or I threw this one in just for fun, the New Jersey jersey, I'm going to give you those jerseys. Which one would you take?
I'm going to have to go with Carolina.
Like the Carolina?
Yes, sir.
Do you like that program pretty good?
Yes, sir, I do. Actually, I like to play beside Theo.
Yeah, you'd like to be with Theo then. Maybe Theo's got the length. But Theo hurt his foot, I think, in the game last night when I read. Yeah. You see him expanding upon his career, the more chances he gets, I guess, as he gets more involved in that program, other guys move out.
Yeah, I do, actually. The more he gets in, the more he gets to show what he has.
Mm-hmm. He's got some talent. And we ask you about college. We ask you about that. You're still not sure about that kind of stuff, so we'll kind of leave it out and let go for right now. What's your best basketball move?
Coming down the lane, dribble to the left, and a spin.
Spinning back toward the right?
Spin back to the right.
Kind of get the man in the air and you're making that spin move?
Yes, sir.
How about when you want to be alone, away from the crowd, maybe get away from Dudley, maybe get away from everybody, because sometimes you just got to be alone, work on your game on your own. Is there a secret workout spot, secret spot you go to?
Kind of hidden spot, but yeah.
You've got a spot somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Got a place picked out?
Yes, sir.
But you can't tell us because
can't tell.
It will no longer be a secret. I knew that might be in there because I kind of placed it. Who's the athletic director at Dudley?
Coach Godet.
There you go. I was going to ask the kids about their athletic. You knew that right away, so that's a good spot to get him a plug in, get him a mention. Mm-hmm. Hendon, the orthodontist, Dr. Hendon Hooker. Where will you go? Did you check on any schools where you go to get all that going?
Actually, Carolina has a good dental school, and that's basically where I want to head.
So maybe the Carolina thing. Interesting. Coach Fedora, I wonder if he'll still be there when you go there. You got to keep eyes on those because you don't know. I mean, they've had a couple of good years, but you don't know if they get interest from another school or if they have a down year. But got to keep that Carolina thing in mind. Then.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. You could really help us all out one day because everybody needs the younger people need work done on their mouth. The older people need a little hand. We may need a little pat of the money someday when you get rich and get that job going. Hendon, good job as always. Keep up the good work, and the handshake's working too. I like that, man. Strong, man. Come on, strong. Keep working. Good luck tomorrow night. I hope it's a good game. I can't pull for either team specifically, but I hope it's just a good ball game against Page.
Yes, sir.